Okay, so this is part 2 to the Travelogue to the Jhanas by Ajahn Brahm. And I'm just going to continue reading where I left off 2 weeks ago. As you develop these jhanas more and more, they are very enjoyable things to develop. Sometimes people feel that a holy life, a spiritual practice, should be harsh and severe. If you want to make it harsh and severe, that's up to you. But if you want to go on a happy path, a path of bliss, which is also going to lead to enlightenment at the same time, this is it. Even though these are very strong pleasures, mental pleasures, the Buddha said they are not to be feared. He said this in many places in the suttas, and there was one place in the Digha Nikaya where he told the monks, if a person develops these jhanas, makes much of them, is almost attached to them, attached to their development, then there are 4 consequences of that attachment to that development. The word I am translating here as attachment is anuyoga. Our word yoke comes from this word yoga, which means tying onto. Anu means along with, or tied along with. So it literally means practicing frequently, doing it again and again and again, what some people would interpret as being attached to. So there are 4 results from practicing jhanas in this way. Not 5 results, not 3 results, but 4 results. And those 4 results of practicing jhana again and again and again are stream entry, once returner, non-returner, and arahant. So those are the 4 levels of awakening. The Buddha was unequivocal about this. It does not lead to more attachment to the world. It actually leads to the enlightenment experience, to separation from the world. The way to develop them is that as you develop the first jhana more and more, you can aim towards the higher jhanas. The only way you can aim towards the higher jhanas is to do it before you enter this whole area of the mind we call the jhana realm. Because once you are in any jhana, you are stuck there and you cannot give any orders or any commands. You cannot drive your vehicle once you are in any of these absorptions. The aiming, the driving, the putting in of instructions has to be done beforehand. It is very difficult to find similes for this. A very weak simile, but one I've used before, is like someone charging into a house with 4 rooms, and the 4th room is way down the back. The 3rd room is just a little bit before that, the 2nd room a bit before that, and the 1st one just inside the door. The floors are made out of this very, very slippery ice, so you cannot make any momentum once you have got in the first door. All your momentum has to be built up from outside. So you charge the first door, and if you are going very fast, you may be able to slip right through the 1st room and into the 2nd room. If you are going really, really fast, you may even get into the 3rd room. And if you are going very, very fast as you charge the front door, you may slip all the way into the 4th room. But once you're in any of these rooms, you cannot add to your momentum. So the only way you can gain these deeper jhanas is before you enter any of these states, making sure that your effort to let go, your resolve to abandon, that your desire to settle all disturbances is so strong that you settle the disturbance of this doing mind, and next you settle the vitakka vichara, this movement of the mind, and you settle many other things as well. The mind settles down one thing after the other as it goes into the deeper jhanas. So that's just letting us know that the way we get into jhanas is by letting go, not by striving. The 2nd jhana is the first true state of samadhi, because here you've settled down that which was a disturbance of the 1st jhana, which was a wobbling of the mind. the Vitakka Vichara has been abandoned. So Vitakka, if you've forgotten, Vitakka is when we bring our mind to our meditation object. So if we're watching our breath, then bringing our mind to the breath is Vitakka, and then Vichara is holding it on the breath. And then if we slip away, then coming back is the Vitakka. Staying there is the Vichara. And this is the wobble that is still slightly there in the first jhana, but is completely gone in the second jhana. So now the mind has the object of bliss firmly unified with it. And this state is one of rock-like samadhi, where there is this one object in the mind of bliss, and there is no room in the mind at all. It is completely one-pointed, stuck solid as a rock and blissed out, so the object is not moving at all, not changing an iota. It is there one moment after another moment after another moment. Because of the solidity and stability of that state, the second jhana will last much, much longer than the first jhana. The deeper the jhanas, the longer they will last. And you are usually talking in terms of hours for the second jhana, simply because it is a very solid state. Whereas the first jhana can be just a matter of minutes. A good second jhana should be quite long, and it is very solid. Once you are in it, there is no way you can get out until the energy of that jhana just uses itself up. That's the only way, because you cannot form the resolution, now's the time to come out. If someone calls you, you will just not hear them. If someone taps you on the shoulder, you will not recognize that, because you are completely separated from the external world. You are literally right in the center of your mind, and you cannot be contacted. Again, that second jhana, once it starts to break up, will break up into what is tantamount to first jhana, then it will break out into the verbalization of thought. You come down again. For those who want to explore these states a lot, one important thing you can do, rather than to leave it to the momentum of your energy to quiet down your energy of samadhi, is to make resolutions before you enter these states. You just need to say to yourself, I'll just enter the jhana for half an hour or for 1 hour. Because the mind is very refined in these states, it will have power. Your suggestion will be like programming a computer, and once the hour is up, the mind will just come out of the jhana. I can't say exactly how it works, but it does. In the same way, you can go to sleep and say, I'll wake up at 3 o'clock. And you do wake up at 3 o'clock, or 5 minutes either side, without the use of an alarm clock. The mind, if you program it with mindfulness, responds. And so that is a very useful way and a very good instruction to use those resolutions so that you do not spend overlong in those states when you have maybe an appointment or some things you have to do. Make a resolution first of all. However, when you are in that state, you cannot make a resolution. You cannot think. You cannot analyze. All you know is that you are blissed out. You are not quite sure what is happening, and only afterwards you have the opportunity to emerge and then to analyze and to see what has gone on and why. If one wishes to go deeper into the jhanas, then at this point one has to understand that bliss, which is the second jhana born of samadhi, born of full unification of mind, a bliss with a different taste, has an aspect to it which is still troublesome to the mind, and that is this aspect of piti. This is almost like a mental excitement, and that can be overcome if one aims to quiet that bliss down. Okay, so it looks like he's not going to talk about the third and fourth jhanas.